Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at you and the person that you are connected to and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and kind of this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. I do encourage you to think outside of the box when it comes to these readings. This might not just be talking about a romantic connection. This could be a friend, a family member, a coworker, anyone that you are dealing with that you are maybe feeling triggered by, or just kind of feel there's something that needs to be brought to the surface there. So this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate fully for everyone, so do take what resonates and leave what does not. And these energies very well could be swapped. You could resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, or if you're a cross watcher, vice versa. So again, remember, general reading, take it as it resonates. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Pisces, you have the big picture with contemplation. You have been in a state of contemplation when it comes to this connection. I feel like you're trying to figure out, it's like you're trying to figure out what's going on, because I feel like you're feeling a little lost with it. This big picture card is more of the universe asking you to look at things from a greater perspective, because I feel like you get a little bit lost on the nuances of the connection, and you're having a hard time really seeing the bigger picture, the purpose of it, what's really going on. Like, if you feel like you guys are fighting a lot, you're focusing on the little fights instead of the reason for the arguments, like the underlying reason, which kind of is the point of my readings. I'm trying to get to kind of the, what is underneath the surface of what's going on. Now, this person has shifted your energy with adventure. I feel like they look at this connection as something, this connection is very exciting for them. I feel like it brings out kind of an adventurous side of them. It makes them feel very alive, if you will. But I also don't necessarily know if their energy fully matches yours, if they're able to fully match your energy, or maybe you're kind of feeling like you give more to this connection than they do, or they don't see things as clearly as you wish that they would, something along those lines. But we'll see when we dive into tarot. And then in between this connection, you have be gentle with yourself and the love matters. I don't remember what reading it was that I did, but these exact two same cards on some reading this week came out in between this connection. Or maybe, actually, that might not be true. Maybe it was like love matters was over here and be gentle with yourself is in between. But I've seen both of these cards come out this week. You're needing to be a little bit more, there needs to be this increased level of understanding the other person's perspective in this reading. And that goes for both you and them, because I feel like, again, it's almost like when there's arguments or something that happens, it's really easy to focus on the specifics of that argument instead of what's really going on. Like, there's something deeper in between this connection that needs to be brought to light. But let's start, Pisces, by looking at your side of this. What is Pisces' energy toward this connection? What does Pisces need to know about their energy toward this connection? This is Pisces' side of the connection. Pisces' side of this connection to the person they're dealing with. Pisces' side of the connection. Ooh. Okay. All right. Hang on. All right. Pisces, you have a hard time when it comes to valuing your needs as an equal priority, if not more of a priority than this person. I feel like you have a tendency to kind of take on this person's needs and adjust your own expectations to meet that, which compromise is necessary, right? In any kind of situation or any kind of healthy connection, compromise is necessary, but you want to make sure that you're not compromising to the extent that you are letting go of your own needs. Sure, you've got to kind of, adjust your expectations, but you don't want to adjust them so much that you are completely throwing away what you need. Because I feel like this connection, it's at a distance. It's at a distance in terms of, even if you guys are together, even living in the same house, there just feels like there's this space, this separation. And it feels like it's less of like a you guys want that, and more of like this feels like a giant lack of understanding. Like it feels like there is not any kind of equal amount of understanding going on in this connection at this time. And I feel like that's, you might feel taken for granted. They feel like they're doing everything they can, but like it's almost like it's on both sides. I don't feel like your needs have been explicitly communicated in some way, shape, or form. But let's get more. This is Pisces side of this connection. This connection literally could be in separation too. This is Pisces side of this connection. There it is. The Four of Swords and the Five of Wands. I knew we were going to see this Five of Wands because this is this need to contemplate, like I was just saying, there's something about like the arguments that happen in this connection and there being a deeper reason. And a lot of it has to do with your own limiting beliefs. Now, they've got their own set of stuff that I'm sure we'll dive into, but right now we're just focused on your energy, right? It has to do with like your own limiting beliefs kind of getting in the way of this understanding too. Because there's this need to go within and kind of do some like meditating or journaling about these arguments from a bigger picture perspective, because I feel like that would give you insight to the main blockage in this connection. Let me get more on this Five of Wands. Five of Wands here for Pisces side of this connection. There's the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. See, there is a lot of love here. There's no doubt about that. So it's not that not caring about each other. I don't think that that's the problem. It's more about like, it feels like a lack of understanding. That seems to be the biggest issue in this connection. Okay, can I get more for Pisces side of this connection? I'm trying to think of an example. Like, for instance, and this is kind of a silly example, but it brings up kind of it's something that I've experienced in past relationships that kind of relates to this reading, where I would get mad at the person that I was dating for, being on Xbox all the time or hanging out with their friends or getting upset at like them doing their own thing. And for a long time, I was like, what's my problem? Like, why am I so controlling? Why does this bother me so much? Why does it bother me when they do things on their own? And I realized it's because my own needs weren't being met. So what it kind of felt like to me was when my needs aren't being met and they go off and kind of do things with other people or have other priorities, it feels like then I fall even lower on the priority list, because now I'm in a relationship where when he plays Xbox or hangs out with his friends or whatever the case is, it doesn't bother me, because when he's not doing those things, he is giving me the attention and the love that I need. So for instance, the argument of you're on Xbox too much or you hang out with your friends all the time wasn't ever the issue. It was, I don't feel like you are providing me with the things that I'm asking you to provide me on an emotional level. Now, that kind of opens a whole nother can of worms for bigger issues. But that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's not about what you're fighting about that's the problem or where the arguments are stemming from. It's something bigger going on that's needing to be addressed. Okay, that was it. Needing to say that. Okay, Pisces side of this connection. Because then that opens the door for a conversation about the problem, right? Whenever you can figure out where it's stemming from. This is Pisces side of the connection. Six of Cups in reverse with the Knight of Wands. I want a little bit more on this before I speak on it. A little bit more on this message. Okay, yeah. in the past, in your connections, Pisces, it feels like you've never really been able to speak your truth without being criticized or misunderstood or like them getting defensive and putting it on you. Like it just feels like you've never really been in a position, especially like in your past. And that doesn't even, maybe this is something in this connection too that's a problem. But it feels like you've never really been able to feel safe enough to speak up about your needs and what it is that you are requiring in a connection. And this connection in particular is bringing that up, that problem up to be addressed. Now, whether or not this person handles it well or not, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their energy yet. But I do feel like there's this need to make sure that you are asking for your needs to be met and not, but, but, but also in order to ask for your needs to be met, you've got to kind of figure out what it is you need in general, right? Because there's this level of vulnerability that you're having to tap into here that I feel like you aren't comfortable with. And you're not comfortable with this level of vulnerability, and it's because of your past. Your past has kept you from being vulnerable because maybe it was like when you were a kid, it was kind of like, oh, your needs didn't matter. You kind of just took what you got and you were grateful for it because your parents were providing you with a roof over your head. Or like it would be like, it's like that classic example of like you go to tell your dad that you're having issues with depression or something, and he's like, what are you depressed about? Like, what do you have to be depressed about? You have food to eat and clothes to wear. And it's like, well, that's not the problem, right? And it just feels like it's like you were never really heard. Like you've never really felt heard. So it kind of at some point in your life, you kind of just stop trying. You stopped trying to speak up about what you needed or what you wanted, and you started becoming silent about it. And I feel like now this connection in particular is bringing that issue to the surface. And a lot of these arguments that I feel like exist in this connection stem from this fear of really speaking up in a vulnerable way, not about what's bothering you. Again, it's not about the playing Xbox or hanging out with friends, which again, that's such a silly example, but it's just, it's just what's coming to mind. It's not about that, right? It's about the deeper issue. I don't feel like my needs are being met. I don't feel like you are giving me the appropriate attention before you go give other things attention, whatever the case is. Because that opens the door for a conversation that goes beyond just the surface level issue. This person's or Pisces energy towards the person they're dealing with. You're not happy with this right now. You aren't happy with the way things are, and I feel like that's because you don't feel like your needs are being met. So I feel like maybe you've kind of withdrawn, and that's where this distance is coming from, is you've withdrawn because you're like, I can't keep giving my energy to something that, like, it's almost like easier to withdraw than to kind of face what's really going on, essentially. But that's why you have love matters and be gentle with yourself. I mean, I feel like maybe your protection mechanism has always just kind of been to withdraw, to just kind of withdraw your energy and not, like, it's almost like your needs start to feel like a burden. So you withdraw completely because you don't want to feel like a burden. Pisces energy toward this person, please. Four of Cups in reverse with the Magician in reverse. It feels like your focus is more on making sure this person doesn't get upset with you than it is making sure your needs are met in a way. Let me get more on this Four of Cups reverse. Yeah. The Hermit and the Three of Swords with the Seven of Wands in reverse. It's like there's no boundaries being set because you're so afraid of the repercussion of setting those boundaries. The people in your life that get defensive or upset at you for setting a boundary are the people who benefit from you not having any. I feel like I've done a lot of Pisces readings recently about setting boundaries. But ultimately what's really coming through in this one is that You're just needing to see that your needs deserve to be met, but you have to ask for them to be met. And if this person isn't willing to do that, then you kind of have to make your decision accordingly. Now, at the same time, you want to make sure you're not asking for too much, right? I feel like that's a big worry you have. You're not asking for too much. And my answer to that is you are never asking for too much. You are asking the wrong person, right? If someone makes you feel like you are asking for or requiring too much from them, then they are not the person that is capable of giving you what you deserve. You are never too much. Do not. It's kind of like that. If I'm too much, go find less, right? Pisces side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Pisces side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. That's why I was saying, like, it didn't feel like this person can match your energy. But maybe it's because they don't really know how. Seven of Cups in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And then the Three of Wands. Nine of Wands reverse. What is this? World. Oh. Look at both of these cards. Neither of them have faces. I mean, one of them's holding up a mask, but neither of these have faces. And it's almost like you've been wearing a mask in this connection in a way. Not in the sense that you're not being authentic. Maybe you aren't, but maybe not necessarily in that sense, but more in the sense that you're having trouble believing that you're going to be accepted for who you are and all that you require. And so there's a part of you that's holding back. I don't even think you fully know that you're doing that either, Pisces. I feel like you've done this your whole life. You've adapted to whatever the person in front of you needed. And you've never been like who you needed to be. And I feel like that's created a lot of obstacles in this connection. It's not that you're not authentic. I don't necessarily feel like that's not the case. It's almost like there's just this, it's like you put on a mask. Like maybe you pretend that certain things are okay when they're not, or something, instead of just being, open and honest in a loving way about what you need. Now, again, whether or not this person is willing to be open and willing to receive that depends on the individual. But there's kind of this need to open yourself up to being like vulnerable and honest about who you are and what's going on. Making sure that you're not a different person around this person than you are like around your friends and family or something like that. All right, this person's energy toward Pisces. And that could not be a message for you, but this person's energy toward Pisces. You shift your energy with adventure. What is this person's energy toward Pisces? Ooh. They're stressed about this connection because of the conflict. The conflict stresses them out. There's the Five of, and there's the Emperor. So they're the Emperor to your Empress because we saw the Empress come out. But this conflict between you guys stresses them out. Because I feel like they don't know. I don't necessarily know if they know how to handle it either. Because neither you are really getting to the bottom of what's going on here. This person's energy toward Pisces. Ooh, they're really focused on their material stability. And I feel like that might be kind of a source of conflict in this connection too. Because it feels like maybe you feel like they're prioritizing like their material stability over you. In a way, that could be something. Doesn't have to be. But they definitely are really, really focused on their material world right now. This person's energy toward Pisces. They want forgiveness. Because they do have a lot of love for you. They want forgiveness because they do have a lot of love for you, but I don't even really know if they know what they did wrong. And I'm not giving this person like, I'm not excusing behavior. I'm just saying I don't know if it's a lack of self-awareness or if you've just really had a hard time really even understanding where your hurt has come from as well. Because again, it's not about the conflict, it's about the deeper reason. And there's this need to get to the bottom of the reason for the conflict, because then that will help you, I feel like, be able to navigate the healing. Because eventually you build up resentment when you feel like your needs aren't being met for long enough. You build up resentment. But I feel like this person doesn't want to hurt you by any means. But I feel like they also, like, to them it feels like they're doing the best they can. But I also feel like that's because there's this big misunderstanding. Like, I don't feel like they really even know what you require of them. And Pisces, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even necessarily know if you fully know what you require. You're just upset that they weren't able to give that to you. And that's common, but that's why you're needing to get to the bottom of where this conflict stems from, what the reasoning behind the conflict is. This person's energy toward Pisces. I feel like they're running from this a little bit. And I feel like, maybe not fully, but I feel like they're starting to. Because they're a little burnt out with how things have been, just as much as you are. Also, excuse me, because I've got to do low power mode on my phone. Okay. They're a little burnt out with things have been just as you are. But there is, like, I can confirm there is love here. There is love here. There is care. There's no doubt. So if it's not that they don't care about you, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like a lot of this conflict, I feel like, stems from you feel like they don't care about you. It's not that they don't care about you. It's that I don't necessarily know if they show it in the way you need, or if they show up for you in the way you need. And I mean, honestly, Pisces, maybe they don't know how. Maybe they don't know how. Maybe they have no idea how to show up for you. And maybe that's why they get confused when you get so upset with them, because they're like, I don't know what I did. And it's not that they're like dumb. I just feel like it's like they don't know. They're not self-aware enough or something. Oof. This person's energy to Pisces. This person's energy toward Pisces. I don't see this a lot in these general love readings. I kind of feel like this person, I was going to say, is like willing, or was willing to do, well, hang on. Let me get more on this Hangman. Because they have shift your energy. So there's something about their energy that's off. And maybe it's their focus. Oh, that's maybe what it is. It's their focus. Ooh. Okay. I don't feel like they're being fully honest with you. I don't think they're being, like, intentionally deceptive. I just don't feel like they're being fully honest with you. And I don't feel, Pisces, like you're being fully honest with them either. There's this lack of vulnerability, which has led to, like, a giant lack of understanding in between this connection. And that's caused the majority of the issues here. And so maybe that's why this person spends most of their, time kind of focusing on their material world, is because I feel like they're kind of at a loss here. I don't feel like they know what to do about this. This person's energy to Pisces. This person's energy toward Pisces, please. See, they don't reciprocate. Is that upside down? It came out and then it like kind of felt like it was like Six of Pentacles in reverse and the World in reverse. They don't reciprocate your energy. Well, let me get more. You were definitely giving more to this than you were receiving. Yeah, there's the Hermit. I also get this feeling that they don't know what else they could have done. You could have even told them what they could have done. Like, you're like, I need you to do these things. But then they don't do those things, and then they're like, I don't know what I did wrong. Like, it's kind of the energy of it, but it's really interesting because it doesn't feel like they're like dumb. I just feel like I don't think they understand you. Like, they don't understand the importance of what you've asked or something. Like, it's like there's more to it than just the conflict. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended. You have love matters with be gentle with yourself. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so much, Pisces, as always, for the support of my channel. It does mean the absolute world to me. I hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Pisces.